Yeah. We here. We said 2 o'clock, but whatever. It's AllBall TV, baby. You see who's in the building. We ain't playing no games with y'all. AllBall TV. They scared, but I'm not. They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.
Yeah, man. You know who I
Yeah.
Yeah, you know I got my guy with me.
Ball suckers. We are in the building.
And of course, it's Big Queens today, AllBall.
Big Flea, Big Queen, never the little one.
Nothing but Queens. Nothing but
Huh?
Yes, sir.
Now, north side, south side, west side, east side, AllBall. It's over for you.
Queens,
Whatever side. Queens, baby, yes.
Hold on, because we're too cool up here. So let me give the proper introduction.
Yeah.
His jersey is retired in high school as well. 2 retired jerseys. Am I right, Mr. Anderson?
Yeah, they retired my jersey, man. So that was big.
In the Hall of Fame.
In the Hall of Fame, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Kenny Anderson jersey. My jersey is right next to Kareem, so that was a big feat for me. That was awesome for me, man. Growing up, I'm like, wow.
Right. So hold on, he has 2 jerseys in the Hall of Fame next to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah.
My opinion, the greatest player to come out of New York City, especially at the point guard position. Malloy, Georgia Tech, the number 2 overall draft pick. See, that's what people underestimate that. I'm going to say it again. At the point guard position, the number 2 draft pick, the greatest point guard I've ever seen with the ball in his hands, Mr. Kenny, Mr. Chips Anderson, Queens legend, is in the building.
What's up, baby? My people. My people, man. I got love for Fabian and AllBall. You know, they came and did my first annual showcase in Myrtle Beach. And I want to give back to the young men, the youth. So I'm just trying to help them in any way possible as far as the game of basketball and with their life also. So that's what I'm doing. I'm down here at Fort Walton, Florida Coastal Prep, helping them, you know, working them out. I haven't I'll be there 3 times a week, around and there, just helping them out, just getting with the program. And that's basically what I'm doing now. But I just want to always give back. That's my main thing. Giving back was so big for me because I saw how my high school coach, Jack Curran, did, you know, when I was at Archbishop Malloy High School. And my mentor, Vincent Smith, you know, Kenny Smith, older brother, who mentored me. And he always had in my head, you got to give back. I did so well, high school, college, pro, and I wanted to come back in. I came back to Left Rack, and I did my Kenny Anderson Classic. Was big for like 10 years over there. Everybody played in it. So it was always, and my mother always, just telling me, you got to give back. This is our neighborhood. She loved Left Rack. We love the people in there. And now, also, I got to give a big shout out to South Jamaica. You know, that's where from 1 to 9, that's where I grew up at, South Jamaica. And then I moved to Left Rack. So they get mad when I say Left Rack and don't give them no love.
No, we should keep it that way.
It's Queens all day. It's Queens.
No, we should keep it that way. No, the other side, Horace Harden side. We talking about Flea.
Nah, man, the Junction Boulevard
the long side.
Yeah.
I don't know the Horace Harding side. That's the quiet side. Quiet.
That's low key over there. Queens Boulevard, all of that.
Yeah. Just to stay on topic with that, June is the next Kenny Anderson showcase. We're gonna be back down there. AllBall Fabian PerspecTV, myself, and we're gonna be accompanied by Flea. Flea, me and you is not staying in the same room, man. You too big, bro. I'm not. We're gonna get 2 rooms at minimum.
I'm a grown man.
And I want to give a big shout out to Fabe and AllBall for coming the first. That was our first year. And the dates we had to get it done. You know, Kenny Thompson, who's running my Kenny Anderson showcase, he did a hell of a job. But it was too late. It was too late, but we had to get one done. And we got it done, man, with y'all help. So much love always.
Yes, real quick, just gotta give a big shout out to Kenny Thompson, man. Like you said, he did a wonderful job down there. Had a lot of kids come down, gave out a lot of stuff. So it was a wonderful experience. And yes, we will be down there June 21st for the next Kenny Anderson showcase down there in Myrtle Beach. Now, before we get started, we gotta let Big Flea set it off because that's your Queens brother. Like I said, he's from Queens, and you know, Flea has some things he want to ask you. So let's go, Flea.
Nah, first of all, it's an honor and a privilege to finally get to sit down and talk to you. We've interacted before on random occasions, but to get here and sit with you and have you on this platform is big stuff for us. So, you know, it's an honor. We appreciate you. But I just wanted to ask, man, you know, you were somebody that I grew up watching. You were somebody that I think all of us kind of grew up watching, man. With, you know, how the game is today, do you enjoy watching the NBA now? It's very different from when you played, but do you enjoy watching now? Who are some of the guys you enjoy watching?
I enjoy watching it. The game has changed. You gotta, you know, I played in the 90s, man. So game has changed. The lanes is wide. It's a guard-oriented league now. If you got ball handling skills, you can shoot the three, you in business. You know, so, you know, my first player who I love to watch is Stephen Curry. He's just unbelievable. Damian Lillard, Kyrie Irving. And, you know, I like all the point guards, you know, Russell Westbrook. They go hard in the paint, man. They go hard. Jalen Brunson from the Knicks. His game is solid. He's one of the best right now. So it's just all the pure point guards that can make things happen for their teams. It's awesome to watch. But the three is big now. It wasn't as big when I played in the game because we had the 4s and 5s, and they always wanted the ball. And if they didn't get the ball, they start crying. You might get into a fight in the locker room and all kind of craziness. You know what I'm saying? So the game has changed, and it's changed for the better. For the better. Each era has changed. 90s, 2000s, and so on. You know, but I always watch, you know, my teams play. Give much love to Brooklyn Nets. That's where New Jersey Nets. That's where I started. So I always watch them. I watch, you know, Boston Celtics. I'm a Boston Celtics fan. Portland Trailblazers. Those are the three teams that I give most love to because that's where I got most of my minutes being played in those three organizations. So I always, you know, hope the best for those organizations and they do well. And I got to give love to the Indiana Pacers because I did play 1 year with them. We went to the finals, the Eastern Conference. We lost to Detroit when Detroit won it all. So, you know, that's, you know, the NBA is fantastic, man. Great, a lot of great talent. But I think now it's a guards league.
You know what? Real quick, Fabian, before you go, since, you know, we on the subject of, you know, point guards. Kenny, let me ask you a question. Your era, what point guards in your era today would do very well in the NBA?
Well, all of them, you know, Kyrie Irving, Stephen Curry, Damian Lillard. We could go on. All those guys.
No, but what about I'm saying the guys in the point guards in your era. How many of them would really flourish today in today's game?
A bunch of us. You know, I think you know, Tim Hardaway, Kevin Johnson. Okay. You know, I know myself. Now myself, it'd be easier for me now than it was back then. For me to play in this era.
Explain that a little bit for people that don't understand what you're saying.
Because I was a fast, just penetrating guard. The lane is wide open. I would have to just get better with my 3-point shooting, and I would. You know, if you know, just with my work ethic and practicing and things like that. But the lane is wide open. If you got ball handlers, you can't hand check now. Before, when I play, you can hand check. It was tough. It was tougher. It was tougher. Now it's a lot softer now. And you know, that's just the game. That's what we got to do. You know, but Tim Hardaway, Kevin Johnson, myself, Gary Payton, he could play any lead.
Mark Price.
Mark Price. Now Mark Price will kill this league right now.
No. You got hold on.
He shot the three, so he would flourish.
He would
flourish. He would flourish. Word.
He would
Explain
flourish.
that.
He would flourish because he shot the three ball and he shot it excellent. You know, excellent. And he had handle and he was quick. He played like a dude in uptown in the Rutgers Park. That's the type of game he had.
Hold on,
Mark Price was official. And then a guy that I give love to that made the All-Star team, Dana Barrows.
Oh, yeah.
Can shoot that thing with the Celtics. He can shoot and he can handle. He's quick. He will flourish right now in this era.
Dana was tough.
It's just different, man. It's just a different game. You know, you gotta. You know, and most of those guys now, they efficient. They efficient. You know.
Who's our guy uptown, old boy, that he went to Georgia Tech trials? He seen Mark Price.
So give you a quick story. Our guy Terrence Brogdon, aka that's family butter, right?
Yeah.
Was dumb nice and he played high school ball with Kyrie Pops, with Boo Harvey, Ross Strickland, them guys, right? So he had a stint with like the summer league teams with Orlando and stuff like that. And of course, him coming from Harlem, you know, we cocky, arrogant, you know, we think we better than everybody. And he said he went against Mark Price in a practice. He said the way Mark Price manhandled him, it didn't make no sense. So when you bring up Mark Price, so a lot of the youth, a lot of people, they don't understand how good Mark Price was.
No, they don't understand it. I knew, and this is going back to high school, my senior year, I was watching NCAA one, you know, Saturday something. And I saw him play against Georgetown, and I was like, "Whoa!" I'm putting Georgia Tech on my list from him playing. Him playing, I put Georgia Tech. I didn't know I didn't know Georgia Tech was in Atlanta or anything, but by him playing the way he played, I said, "Wow, coach let him do his thing like that." I started getting into Georgia Tech. And then John Sally, who went to Canarsie, went there, Bruce Dye-Ripple. We had a couple of New York. I was like, wow, Georgia Tech. That was when I got the first interest in Georgia Tech through Mark Price.
Wow.
And I tell him that every time I see him, I talk to him. He's a great pro. He's a great pro at Cleveland. I had to play against him in the pros. And, you know, Cleveland against the Nets. And we lost the first year against Cleveland in the playoffs. They had a crew, Brad Daugherty, Lawrence, Brad Daugherty, Mark Price, Elo. Terrell Brandon was on that team, but he was with me. He didn't. Ron Harper was injured. He didn't play as much. Larry Nance. They had a crew.
Yeah.
They lost to Jordan. With the Jordan shot. They had a crew. They had a crew. No, Mark Price was that guy, man. He was that guy, man. A lot of people forget and don't give him his credit. Got to give him his love and his credit.
He was so great. Remember, they traded Kevin Johnson.
Yep, they battled. A lot of the young kids don't know that story. They had the battle. Just like I had the battle with Mookie Blaylock was with the Nets. We had to figure out. They traded Mookie Blaylock to Atlanta and gave me the rock. So I was able to do my thing with New Jersey. The same with Cleveland. They was both at Cleveland playing against each other, whatever, and they chose Mark Price and sent Kevin Johnson to Phoenix.
How good was Mookie?
Go ahead.
I just wanted to ask how good was Mookie, because he's the most underrated defensive point guard ever.
Probably the best, if not the best point guard defensively ever that ever played the game.
Over GP, over Jason Kidd.
They right there. They right neck to neck. They right there defensively, and he was like that. He was nice.
Wow. People forget how many times Mookie led the league in steals. I think he's done it a couple different times. Yeah. But with all that being said, Kenny, You named a lot of guys.
Yeah.
From that era, who was your toughest matchup? Who was you like yo, I gotta lace my sneakers up tonight for him?
My toughest was Tim Hardaway and Kevin Johnson. And when I first got in the league, they killed me. And then I said I went home and I said I can't let this keep going on. So I had to get better, and I had to see, practice and get better, pro better. And I did that. And then we started playing. I started doing well against those guys. But those guys forever, I always give them big ups, and I talk highly of those guys because they're great. They was great players, but they're even greater people. Kevin Johnson and Tim Hardaway. It was awesome. They're great pros.
These guys you mentioning, right? Because the older we get, they think we just hold on to the past.
Yeah.
But and the older we get, the more underrated they become.
Yeah.
So I want to give these kids a chance to understand we love the game today.
Yeah.
Who would you say, in your opinion, is the most underrated player in the game today, and why?
Drew Holiday from the Celtics. Now he's both ends. Mm-hmm. Plays defense, both ends. He doesn't get a lot of credit. He's an awesome player. Drew Holiday, who else? They got a lot of guys out there, but I don't watch the NBA like I used to.
Yeah.
So I really, but I know my teams.
I was about to say, of course you pick a Celtic.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. Yo, it's who else? No, he's not. The two guard that just signed with the Sixers.
Paul George?
No, the other from Florida State. He went to Florida State. The guard that just signed the deal is Paul George, Embiid, and him. Maxey.
Oh,
Maxey. He's not. I don't think he's on. He's not getting attention. He's getting a lot of love, a lot of attention. But he's a great guard in this league. Great guard.
You know what? That Drew Holiday tape, I totally agree.
Yeah.
Because everywhere he goes, he wins. Like you said, went to Milwaukee, won. Now he's in Boston, and he's a total pro. He plays both ends of the floor, and like you said, guys like that, we are not going to understand how good he was until he retires, and then you really understand what he was doing on the basketball court. Very smart, rarely makes mistakes, and then when we talk about top 10 guards in the league today, sometimes his name don't even get mentioned, and he just won 2 championships.
He doesn't get a lot of pub.
I agree.
I don't think, I don't know what's wrong with our, I know the fans, and we tend to like all the showiness. I don't know, the showiness and all that and popularity, but he gets it done, man. And I think long as he's at Boston, we are good. We're good.
Go ahead, please.
Nah, man. So you sitting with 3 Knicks fanatics. OG. I know you a Nets guy. We love and we respect it. But you sitting down with 3 Knicks fanatics right now, and we just had a big trade. We just had a really good season last year. Yeah. I wanted to ask you what your thoughts was on the Karl Anthony Towns trade. What you think Brunson and him would look like? What's your thoughts on that move?
I really don't like that move. I think Julius Randle was that guy. I know they got the new players coming in, but they could have just maybe half a season, see how Julius Randle will feed off of that, off those great players that's coming off the bench maybe or whatever. And so, but Cat, I just don't trust him. He's a 3-point shooter. If that's not going well, take him down low. Play rough. And Julius Randle was a rough house. Now, Julius Randle changed his whole demeanor and everything. He's a New York. He feels like he's a New Yorker. He's a New Yorker. That's what it felt to me when I watched him play. The grit. He was just like gully. He gully with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, I ain't heard gully. Yo, when's the last time y'all heard gully?
Yo, I don't know. Now, in time, maybe I'll change a little bit with Cat, but I don't see it. And I don't see it. And you got a win right now mentality in New York with the Knicks. It ain't going to be like Minnesota. He better play. That pressure's on him. That pressure's on him.
Kenny, talk to him, Kenny. I tried to tell him this yesterday.
That's pressure. All the pressure's on him. It's all to win. They got to win now because the GM is doing a hell of a job getting y'all talent, getting the team. He's doing a hell of a job. Tom Thibodeau is one of my favorite coaches of all time. Great defensive coach. So I just want to see him use his bench a little more. Use his other players. That's where he might get stuck a little, and it can hurt them. It can hurt them.
Music to my ears, Flea. Same thing I've been saying for the last 3 months.
I want to hear what AllBall has to say because that is the polar opposite of what he feels.
You see how he's shaking his head, Kenny? Look, you got him all dizzy. The truth is out.
I hate to disagree with the legend.
I know.
All y'all can go to hell with this Knicks team.
He love it.
Listen, I to be honest, you make some great points. You know, I understand Cat is hard to trust right now.
Yeah.
But let's not forget, Randall was here for 4 years. Our last 2 playoff appearances, he was either injured or he didn't play well. We got to not forget that. We got to also not forget, you know, look how good we look without him. And I think for us to be moving forward, did I want to trade Randall? No, because like I said, I think we did owe him at least. Let's see what we can do for the year with everybody fully healthy. But this is the first time in how many years now that the Knicks look like they on the trajectory of doing the right thing all around the board, from front office to coach to playing on the court. So for me, I think Tibbs being the coach that he is and how he can coach big men into believing in themselves offensively and defensively, I think this is the perfect coach for Cat. Now, just one thing. Tibbs got fired from Minnesota. No. You can say because of Cat. No, that was because of Jimmy. That was because of Jimmy Butler starting on.
Oh, here you go. Here you go. Yeah. No, remind him, Kenny.
No.
I don't know.
Jimmy Butler started.
That was one of the top players there. He could have said, "Hey," he could have said, "Hey, you know, Tibbs is my guy. We can't have none of that. You know, boom, we got it." He didn't. So
and why didn't he? And why didn't he, Kenny?
Why didn't he? That
was
I
Jimmy
do know
Butler.
about the NBA. If you top player, you could go into the GM. Yo, nah, Tibbs is my guy. I don't know about that.
Now all of a sudden he's making $50 million a year, $60 million a year. He's coming to the Garden.
It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough because of the Knicks accelerated. They played extremely well the last year too. So they like the Knicks. New York is feeling a championship, and it's going to be a lot of pressure on him because he's one of the top players in the league. He has to deliver. That's all I'm saying.
Flea, you got another question?
Yeah, before I jumped, man, you had mentioned, you know, Tibbs being one of your favorite coaches of all time.
Yeah.
As a rookie, you played for Bill Fitch, but then the next year you got a chance to play for Chuck Daly, right?
Yeah.
I think Chuck Daly, one of the most underrated coaches ever. What was your experience working with Chuck Daly, and where do you have him as, you know, one of the best coaches of all time?
Yeah, he's one of the best coaches of all time, and one of my favorite guys in the world, Chuck Daly, rest in peace. He was one of the reasons he gave me the ball when they got rid of Mook. He said, "Now, you got to play." He put the pressure on me. He said, "We got everything. Slate is clean." Boom, gave me the ball. Me and DC had to run the team, and we did. And we went, pretty good. But Bill Fitch, now everybody was like mad. I was mad because I wasn't playing. But he was a good coach, and he didn't want me in the draft. He wanted Billy Owens. I understand it. It's
so hold on, real quick.
A lot of people don't know that.
Willis Reed was the exec at that time. Did he wanted you?
Yeah, that's my man. Rest in peace, Willis Reed.
Rest in peace.
Knicks.
Yeah.
That's the last time the Knicks won the championship. 1970. I wasn't even. I was born 70. I think my mother, my brother, they love the Knicks. My family's Knickerbockers. So no. So Willis Reed was my guy, man. He brought me in, but Bill Fitz, I didn't know him that well, and I wasn't trying to get to know him. I just knew he wasn't playing me, but he had to play me. Mookie Blaylock got injured, and I played 13 games and did work. Wow. That's where my confidence got built up. I did work, but it was awesome. But no, man, Chuck Daly is one of the best coaches ever. Won 2 championships with Detroit Pistons with Isaiah Thomas. He just knew the NBA game. He knew how to get the guys motivated to play basketball. He was awesome.
Right. That's dope. That's dope. OG, Faye, Kenny, I appreciate y'all having me, man. Appreciate y'all.
Already know,
I'm gonna tap in with y'all soon. You know I'm gonna continue watching. Get back to work. But
my man,
Kenny, appreciate you. It's an honor. It's an honor and a privilege. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my man.
Yes.
God bless. I'm gonna check you out. I'm gonna see you one day when I come up to New York.
We're gonna see you soon.
All right.
I appreciate you so much. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. That's our brother Flea. Listen, man, we got the legend, man, Kenny Anderson in the building. Let's transition a little bit to your Celtics, right?
Yeah.
I gotta ask you this: how high are you on the Celtics repeating this season and winning the championship?
Yeah, I'm high, but all those teams are coming, man. They gotten better, so we got to be real. We got to play hard. So I got to see, because each year it gets very difficult. And then these teams last year was kind of injured. All the teams that we performed well against and so on, and we beat, they was injured. So this is a clean slate. But I'm so Brown and Tatum is going to come with it. Tatum especially because the experience he went through with the Olympic team. So he has something on his mind about that, and motivation. Motivation is stronger. So I'm a little worried because of the 3-point shooting, the injury on the big.
Porzingis.
I'm a little worried on him, but we have to wait and see what goes on. And it's early. It's early right now. You can't make all the crazy predicaments. I always say it to you because me and you boys.
Right.
But on the real, it's great because the East is tougher now. West, it's gonna be tough for the Celtics. It's gonna be tough. Everybody got better.
You mentioned the Olympic experience, and for Tatum, he was benched, and I seen a lot of scouting reports or just scout videos where they're showing, Tatum wasn't really aggressive enough. That's the reason why. And his shot, he worked on it this summer. He worked on his hitch and everything. With Joe Mazzulla coaching him, saying, "Yo, you see, that's what happens. They didn't want you in the game." Also, is that motivating him as a player? Can you put yourself in his shoes along with Jaylen Brown, where they snubbed him and it was public? Grant Hill comes out like, "Yo, we didn't do it." Nah. Then Jaylen Brown came out. He was like, "Nah, man, that's not right what y'all guys did." How do you feel as a player when that happens to you?
Well, it happens for playing is different, but that's more of a political, push off because of the Nike. Jaylen Brown is so voiceful. He's very smart, young man. Right. And they just pushed him away, political, because basketball, you can't. He's nice. How could you do it? You know what I'm saying? So you got to make all these assumptions and this and that, though. But he's a great player and a great teammate and all of that. Tatum, it kind of hurt him a little bit the way he played. They, said he was a little softer, just a jump shooter or whatever. It wasn't hitting no shots then. But the first game, I just watched it. I was watching them all. He didn't play him. He didn't play him 1 minute. What type of? He's an all-star, consistent, killing the league, won a championship, and don't play the first game at all. I didn't understand that. That could bother a player of his magnitude. It bother him. Like, man, what's going on?
Yeah.
I mean, the Celtics are scarier for me because I'm gonna be honest. Tatum wasn't even an MVP caliber dude in the finals, but he still did his drive and kick game. He had his way with, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now imagine if he is an MVP caliber dude this year. Yeah. That's scary.
That's definitely scary for the whole league. But like I said, and I'm from New York. I'm not a Knicks fan, but I gotta give love to the Knicks. Now they have a crew. So it's, you know, they got the McHale's over there from New Jersey.
Yeah.
They got the other young
OG.
man,
OG
from Toronto.
Josh Hart, everything.
Josh Hart, Jalen Brunson. They gully, and they play hard, and they're gonna be a rude awakening. You know, but the East is tough with Milwaukee,
right?
Philly.
You got Indiana, Orlando.
It's like about 8 teams that can beat you. So you got to be ready. You got to be ready. So it's just going to be interesting. It's going to be a good run. You know, I know all my New York fans is like really feeling it. Like the Knicks better win. That's what they say. if they don't win early in the season, woo, my whole family going to be disturbed.
Well, listen. I'm not going to lie. The first terrible game Cat have, I'm on them. You already know. But hold on real quick before we transition to another question. Jason Tatum, 6'9", 6'10", could defend, all-around game, put the ball on the floor, got the mid-range, the three-point shot. Your opinion, should he try to win an MVP and become the best player in the league, or should he just continue to chase championships? What do you think he should do this season?
I think, you know, for what it is, just chase championships, just play, let it come to you, and that's just usually hearing it from, you know, his family members, whatever. Just play. You're one of the best in the league. You're one of the best. You just happen to play with Jaylen Brown. It's tough too. Right. So you should. It's a blessing when you play with another top scorer, another top player on your team, and you got a squad that you have. That you don't gotta extort yourself too much every night. So, you know, he got a great team. He got a great coach, you know, that cares about all his players, not just about basketball, but in life it seems. And he got and he's a young coach, so he's growing. So,
well, Fabian, before I go, I just got to, you know, when I'm wrong, I admit I'm wrong. Kenny, no, I was the one that was saying Tatum and Brown may need to break up. He told me, no, let them stay together. They won a championship, and now it looks like, you know, if they keep that core, I think they have a chance to win 2-3 championships, maybe not in a row. But so I was wrong. So I got to admit, live on AllBall TV with the legend Kenny Anderson, I was dead wrong when I said Tatum and Brown should have broke up.
Yeah, you was, but AllBall, let's I definitely want to give a big shout out, and my prayers go out to Mutombo.
Dikembe Mutombo and his family. Yes,
he had a brain cancer. He was just an awesome player, but better than a player, he was an awesome person. Right. You know, he's an ambassador of Africa, and he put on. You know, he made the hospitals that he over in Africa. That he just was awesome, man. To lose somebody like that. It's pretty touching. So I just want to get that out to my and the crazy thing about it, in 1991, he was in my draft class. Class. And he went to Denver at 5. I went to New Jersey at 2. So
rest in peace to Dikembe Mutombo, man. Condolences to him and his family.
Yes.
I saw Triple J, Jaren Jackson Jr. from Memphis, had a great story, and initially asked him about Mutombo, and he was like, he gave a short answer, but then when they went to the next question, he still had it on his mind because then he revealed, oh, you know what? My father was Dikembe Mutombo's roommate in college. Yeah. And he always spoke to him, and it was so dope. And I bring that up because I don't find these things out without social media. Yes. And you came up in New York City. You were viral before viral was known to be viral in New York City streets, right? So I'm wondering, how do you think, social media would have impacted you coming up?
Wow. It would have been crazy for me because when I was in high school, I was 15 years old, 15 when I started at Archbishop Malloy High School from 9th grade to 12th, I was everywhere, man. Back of the Newsday, New York Newsday, New York Daily News, New York Post, New York Times was a very strong paper. I was in New York Times. Mike Lupica wrote a lot of articles about me. So I just had an amazing high school career, and all the people in New York watched me, man. It was just amazing to get that much coverage, and it wasn't TV or anything like that. It was just all paper, and it was just awesome. And that's why I became the #1. That's one of the reasons I became the #1 player freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, senior year, because I think the media market, was New York. And, right. But it put a lot of pressure on me because when I had to go and play in different states and all that, I had to do my thing, and that was on my mind. But
do you think that will be different if instead of just reading the paper, seeing your face on it, now you see all the comments from everybody reading the paper and shooting back at you on Instagram? How different do you think it would be for you if you had to deal with that?
Yeah, it'll be a little different, but I got to a point in high school where I just stopped reading the paper. I just stopped reading it because there was some negative, it was some positive, but I just stopped reading it. I would read it in the summers, off season. After the season ended, I read the paper, but you can't read too much about yourself. That's all of us. Don't read into it because you get a big head, or you start, really believing what those people are saying. So you got to calm down. And I never really took it in that way. I had some real mentors, Vincent Smith, Pierre Turner, that really, and the whole left rack city, Queens. They just took care of me, man. They watched over me, man. And it's a blessing, man. It's a blessing.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question. Your opinion, 80s, 90s, 2000, and now, what era did you enjoy watching the most? Not playing, watching the most.
Wow, that's a good question. I wouldn't say my era playing all that in the 90s, but I would say, 2000s, I liked, and I really do like this era because it's so it's so you can move freely. The court's wide open. You can move freely. It's not as physical, and that's where you able to shine. If you're a good guard that can shoot. Right. You can penetrate. You penetrate. The lanes is wide open. And let's be real. It's about that money right now. So it's about the money.
Right.
It's about the money. So it's the more fan-friendly. The game is more fan-friendly now. And the playoffs, they try to get a little harder, but it wasn't like our playoffs in the 90s where during the regular season it was physical. The physicalness in the playoffs was bananas. You know what I mean? When in the 90s. But it's a lot different. And now you got to be more skilled. And I understand you got to be more skilled. You got to be able to, shoot the ball. You can penetrate. Like I said, the lane is wide open. So you got fours, bigs that can handle and can shoot, So it's a lot. The game has changed a great deal, but only right. And it's great players now. Great.
Right.
You talked about that's your favorite era. And I was going to ask you who your favorite team was, but I think that's kind of a boring question. So I wanted to know, what is the wildest team you were on? That's what I want to know. Not why, because that might be the details might need to be offline for Patreon. That's pay-per-view.
I don't talk about our things that we did, but I'll tell you. Well, I'm gonna tell you, my team, New Jersey Nets, we had a great team, but it was a little wild. It was a little wild. I played there for 4 years. It was awesome. Now, each year it was different. I played New Jersey 4 years, played Boston 5 years, played Portland Trailblazers for 2. But I think New Jersey, we had when I was younger, we had, me, Derek Coleman, Drive the Petrovich, Chris Morris, Benoit Benjamin, Tate George, Raphael Addison. We had a great talent, but just mentally we lose it sometimes. They're losing. They was a little bugged out. I think he was bugged out.
You guys were too young. Yo, Keith.
Yeah.
Boss Claus is in the building. Keith Claus. He said what's up earlier. He thinks Portland was your wildest team you ever been on.
No, Portland wasn't, because everybody mixed me up where they talk about the jail. But I was gone. They traded me. That's why I went to the Boss. I wasn't with the championship team when they went they traded me for Damon Stoudemire. He went there. He played with all those. They got great players. Scottie Pippen.
Right. Rasheed Wallace and all of them. Yeah. Bonzi Wells.
I played with Rasheed Wallace, J.R. Ryder, Cliff Robinson my first year in Portland. Then my a year and a half, and I got traded. So it was a little different.
So, Claus, you hear that? Don't put that on his jacket. He had nothing to do with that.
Yeah, I had nothing to do with that. I was gone.
Right. Big shout out. Listen, that's Keith Claus, family. He got drafted by the LA Clippers, man. Big shout out Keith Claus.
Claus was wild. Listen. He's a wild dude. That's all I'm gonna say. Claus, that's my man. But he was wild.
He's free about it. He talks about that all the time.
I'm not gonna talk about another man, but all I'm gonna say, you was a wild dude.
Yeah. he told us a couple stories.
Keith Claus. Yeah. Listen, one thing with us, man, we we respect our brothers. We keep it, we would never. But like you said, I'm always in contact with the boss. That's a wild dude, but he family, man. But much love from Keith Claus. He supports. He shows love, man. And anytime you need him to pull up, you hear pull up, man. Good brother. So always shout out Keith Claus, man. Yeah. Hey, Kenny, man. Like I said, man, we got you up here. And before we run in a few, I want you to explain what you've been doing lately as far as some of the charity work and some of the things you've been doing as far as with the youth.
The youth, I got my showcase that you're gonna be a big part in that. I appreciate y'all. That I'm coaching right now, like 3 times a week at Florida Coastal in Fort Walton Prep. Pretty good prep school, just trying to build it up. So I'm gonna be helping them out over there. And I'm always, reaching out to young guys who could really play, get them in situations, going to a good D1 school or so on. They talents. Be a good, and I just always try to preach to them, be a good student. Be a good student, play ball, and however I can help you, reach out to me, and I'll try to help you, just get your career blossom, whatever that is. Because I was at Fisk for 5 years, Fisk University in Tennessee, and it was a great university. My daughter graduated from there, and I coached there for 5 years. It was awesome, man. It was a great experience for me to understand that. HBCU, black school, small, one of the best academic schools in the country. Fisk. We had about 900 students. I had a great time there, man. So I'm just about helping others, giving back, doing what I can. I had a great life in playing the game of basketball. I truly was blessed in high school, college, pro, and so on. So I always, that AllBall and Fave, just giving back. And I'm glad to be a part of your team. Whatever I can do to help y'all, I'm there. I'm there. I'm on the call. I'm on the wherever. I'm just going.
Yes.
Y'all, even though y'all Knicks fans, we good. We good.
I appreciate that.
And I'm gonna take y'all to some Brooklyn Net games. And I want you to cheer. When I look over, y'all better be clapping.
He's giving us orders. Jesus Christ. Kenny A, we got a couple questions. This one's from Bodega Mayor, a fellow viewer, awesome dude. He heard you were coming on. He texted me in the morning, like 6 a.m. in the morning. Like, can you ask Kenny this real quick?
Yeah.
So he asked, and speaking of the kids, How do you feel about the kids playing all these AAU games? Are they being damaged before they hit the league?
Yeah, I really was, playing a lot of AAU games. You got to play the important games. When I was in high school, my coach used to get mad. He used to say, don't play in a lot of these games. You come back and be ready to play in the regular season. But I had to play in certain tournaments and things. You got to give your body a rest. I'm 53 now. I just started getting back into reading novels and things like that, and you got to just do other things. But you play basketball, go work out. That's what I did a lot. I worked out on my game at Lost Battalion Hall down Queens Boulevard.
Right.
So in the winter, I was there.
That's by you.
Yeah.
By Left Rack.
Yep. It's closed now, but 3 o'clock in the afternoon it opens. I do my homework in the office, and then I would play ball all day till it closes at 10. But they kept it open to 11 for me. So me and Vince used to be in there working out. And I just had dreams, man. I just had dreams. Dreams to make it, dreams to take care of my mother. And boom, it happened.
Nice. Well, listen, you got another question, Faye? Because before we get out of here, I got to ask him this. And I'm going to let you run. You got to give me 5. Your top 5 point guards of all time out of Queens, New York.
Oh, that's almost easy. So Boo Harvey.
Okay.
Kenny Patterson.
That's 2.
Mark Jackson.
That's 3.
Kenny Smith.
That's 4.
And KA, baby. Come on. You can't get no better than that. Those are the top 5 point guards, your opinion, that came out of Queens, New York. Yeah. Boo Harvey was tough, man. Boo Harvey, Mark Jackson. This is tough.
Tell the people real quick about Boo. I hear the name all the time, but I don't know enough about him, me personally. So I'm pretty sure other people haven't. But we want that name to be alive. Like, what was it about Boo Harvey that was?
He could handle the ball. He could pass the ball. He was a wizard. Passing the ball, can shoot, little mid-range jumper. He just set the tone. He was a great point guard. And Mark Jackson was a wizard with passing, 6'4".
Tough.
Tough, man. It was tough. Kenny Smith was a jumper, dunk,
right.
And could shoot, extremely shoot. Extremely shoot the rock. And then we had there's a lot of players that came out of New York, but those are the point guards. That was awesome.
And it sounds like a fraternity too, because every borough has their own group of. So for you to see Boo Harvey, but that mix you came in with was Mark Jackson, Kenny Smith, and yourself, Rod Strickland. It felt like a little New York fraternity going to the league. How much did that help you? Speaking of the AAU and all that, how much does that help bolster you up to the league?
You gotta have that. In the summers, the off season, we used to play all the pros. Mark Jackson, Rod Strick, myself, Kenny Smith, up at Columbia. We used to be at Columbia, so you played against each other to better your skills and all that. But those guys, now if you talk about the point guards that I love, are Rod Strickland, Mark Jackson, Kenny Smith, and Pearl Washington. That's the guys. And Boo Harvey, he said Queens. But those, all in all New York players, we have a lot of point guards that was extremely good at making others. Oh, Kenny Patterson. Kenny Patterson.
Now you had him. You put him in your top 5. Yeah.
He's tough. He was tough. Point guard, went to DePaul, went to Forest Hills High School.
He did?
Handled that thing. Yeah, he lived in Rochdale. Kenny Patterson.
Yo, according to Mel, shout out to Mel. He's saying Boo Harvey's birthday is today.
Oh wow. That's interesting, man.
Yeah, nice.
Nice.
Oh boy, you got something else?
No, well, listen, man. We just want to say always thank you. Appreciate you always, bro. Like I said, nothing but love from AllBall TV to you. You know, we a phone call, DM, text away. Anytime you need us for anything we here, we just want to always say thank you for showing love to us, man. And the legend, Kenny Anderson, in the building.
Thank you, my man.
Thank you, Kenny. You know who I am. You know that.
All right, my man.
Yes.
All right, man. I know you.
Salute to everybody. AllBall TV. They scared, but I'm not. They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.